it's not about being everywhere at once. It's about creating the illusion that you're everywhere for your clients. So that gives you advocacy and that gives you credibility.
Hi everyone, welcome to another Marketing Snapshot with me, John Clare, and this week I'm with Clare Walkeden. Hi Clare.
Hello.
Clare, do you want to tell us a bit about what you do in the marketing mix?
So I've been a Marcoms generalist for over 20 years now. I grew up in an in-house role. I was there for just over a decade where I did everything from PR, communications and the full marketing mix. I then went out on my own freelance and started Auburn Consultancy, and I've been working with clients across the full marketing mix ever since. I'm now Auburn Coaching and Consultancy because I'm also a qualified developmental coach.
Wow, okay, that's quite a few balls to keep in the air there, aren't there? So tell me, what's from the marketing perspective then, what's important about what you do for small businesses?
Yeah, so I think marketing can be really bewildering, especially if you've got no backdrop in it. These days, we're kind of faced with these daily sort of injections of, you should be doing this, or you should be on social media, or this is where you need to be. And that can be quite misleading, I think, especially if you don't have a foundation of where your marketing needs to land to start with. And it can be really easy to actually go off down the wrong track and spend quite a lot of time and potentially money doing that. Whereas actually, with the benefit of having firstly somebody who works with you to take that outside view and stand back at what you really look at, and somebody who has a view of the full marketing mix, you can really think about, okay, what is it I really need? Where is my budget best spent? And where's my energy best put? Because especially when we're small businesses, we might be time, resource and budget poor.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, one of the things that I remember when I first started my business, I got no idea what I was doing, as most people don't have when they start their own business. You think you're just going to start doing the stuff that you love doing all the time, and actually you kind of soon realize that there's lots of other hats that you have to wear, and marketing has always been, for me, is kind of one of the most mysterious hats of all. I've never really kind of felt like I've got my head around it properly. Certainly getting there now. I feel much more kind of in tune with what I should be doing, but yeah, it's tricky, and like you say, having somebody to help you is a really good thing to have, especially if you don't really understand it. So how do you do it differently to other people who do similar stuff to you?
So I suppose the way I like to look at it is, because I'm a generalist, and there are specific areas I will focus on. So my background growing up with less budget in charity, my skill set really lay in PR and building rapport and relationships with people. So that communications aspect, and also working in charity and sports governing bodies, multiple stakeholder groups, and quite complex communication. So that's kind of a niche for me. I've also been a part of several major rebrand processes. So I understand not just the physical aspects of a rebrand process, but also the journey you need to take people on in terms of internal communications as well. But what I do differently is take a step back and take what I call a 360 view. If I had my coaching hat on, I'd probably call it a holistic view, because we all like the jargon, don't we? But what that really means is being able to stand back and think, okay, so you're doing these bits and that works, and that's taking that amount of resource, and this is the results we're getting. But where do we really want to be? And there's kind of three core components for me in that initial mix. It's brand, and lots of people probably think, well, I've got a logo and I've got a color palette, so I know what that is. And brand, really, well, that's for Coca-Cola and, you know, big things like that. The reality is it's less logo and more you, as far as I'm concerned, and that applies to small businesses all the way through to those bigger brands as well. So what's going on with your brand? Because at the heart of that is where your values and your mission sit. So it's like your compass, if you like. The colors and the logo and the strap lines come as a part of it, but really making sure that brand foundation is planted, because that's what's going to keep bringing you back to ground zero, really, and keep you challenging. Okay, this is the direction I'm going. Am I going in the right direction? And then secondly, as a part of that, when I know where I'm going, where are those people that I want to talk to? So that's your audience. Who are they? Have I done my client avatars, if we're going to be jargony about it again, which can be really fun, actually, and can, you know, giving them names really helps you come back to, am I talking to my client avatar? Because you can really start to get a sense of when those people are in the room with you. And then playing into that is your communication. So when we're marketing, we're communicating. One of my favorite lines is the biggest mystery of communication is the misunderstanding that we think it's happened. Because so often we think if we, what I call spray and pray, or, you know, we're just putting out content, especially on our social channels, that we're communicating. But if we're not saying the right thing in the right way at the right time to the right person, which is the premise of what marketing is, that's how we make a sale, then it's just going into nothing. So it's brand, audience, and comms. And those are my kind of golden three that sit at the base of my 360 approach. And actually tactics come quite far down the line from that, because actually it's not time or money well spent on those tactics until you know where you're really going with it. And so in my case, because I'm a generalist, I can help you with some of those, but equally I will signpost a client to a more specialist person, whether that be digital or a specific type of marketing, if that's what they need.
Fabulous. Yeah, so that's really good, because you kind of, a lot of these calls that I've done, or these videos that I've done, have been with absolute specialists, so people who are kind of really kind of niched into a specific area. But I like how you had kind of take that holistic view, which is really important, because it's so easy to kind of go off down a rabbit warren of a specific thing, and kind of having that overall view of where you're going and what's your goals is really important. Fab. So we probably need to talk about the elephant in the room, and I've actually used the right hand, which is brilliant. Yes, good. So there's a little picture of you there. We've worked together, haven't we, on photography?
Yeah.
So how's that been for you in terms of kind of having photos and stuff for your marketing?
Yeah, it's been a really worthwhile asset. It's one of those things, and, you know, hands in the air as a marketer, I'm very good at telling clients what to do. Sometimes it takes me a little while to get to my own marketing. We've all been there. So it's something that's been on my agenda for a while. And I also think actually Auburn has changed shape significantly since I went out on my own in 2016. And so it was really that sort of moment of thinking, oh, there's Auburn, that's where it's going, because I'd taken a bit of time out to think about it and think about what the next 5 years look like. My mantra is kind of in marketing, is it timely, is it relevant, and is it meaningful? And I think my brand shoot with you really fell into that segment. And it was a really great opportunity to think about, well, how do these two sides of my business fit together? Because actually translating that for people, thinking about that communications piece again, that can quite easily get lost. And so it was great to think, well, this is me, this is what I look like when I'm doing my consultancy bit. You know, I'm more strategic and feeling very adult, but equally this is me up climbing a tree, because that's who I am. I love being outdoors, but that plays hugely into how I go about my coaching and how I like to get people out and about. But that coaching now very much comes into that consultancy side of things. You know, we use phrases like, let's think outside the box. it's exactly the same as taking a consultancy client out for a walk to discuss where they might want to go with their strategy, because we know when we walk, for example, we have increased creativity. So why would we sit down if we want to talk about the creative direction of our business? So it was, it was a great opportunity, and I was so pleased with the shots we've got, and the reaction to them has been brilliant.
Oh, that's fab. Good. Really love to hear that. Because that's what it's all about. It's about capturing you and kind of capturing the essence of what you do and who you are, which is what I love to try and do. Okay, so just going back to what you do, then I always ask everyone who comes on the Marketing Snapshot this, what's one tip that you can give away to the people who are watching this that they can take away and implement in their business that will help move them forward?
I think it would be that, almost in my coaching hat on, actually, you've got to slow down to speed up. So at the minute, if you're in that place where you're thinking, I'm doing all these things every day and it's working a bit, but I think I should be doing more of this, or other people are doing more of this, and I'm talking about social media in particular, just pause. It's okay. It will feel like the world's going past you, but actually just stop and take that wider view, or get somebody to help you take that wider view, and really take that 360 approach. Think of it as the thoughtful placement of your message. That's all it is. It doesn't involve some great big spreadsheet with all your marketing tactics in it. It's thinking about refining your content and your messaging to cater to your unique audience on each of the channels, and driving that single, clear, unified message, and as a result of that, hopefully driving sales as well. And I think what's really lost in that social media environment, translation in particular, is that it's not about being everywhere at once. It's about creating the illusion that you're everywhere for your clients. So that gives you advocacy and that gives you credibility. But you're going to burn yourself out if you're trying to do all of those marketing tactics all at once and yourself. So think about what's really timely, relevant, and meaningful.
Great tip. Thank you, Claire. So if people want to get in touch with you, how can they find you?
So I have a website, auburnconsultancy.co.uk, or you can find me on Instagram at auburnconsultancy. And I'm also on LinkedIn /Auburn.
Fabulous. Thank you very much. Cool.
Thank you.
I only managed to say cool once this week. I'm having a little competition with myself to see how much I can reduce it. One of the first videos I did, I was like saying cool at the end of every sentence, which is very embarrassing. Anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Claire, for joining me, and take care, everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.